Good morning everyone and welcome to Let's Shop Cake Live with me, Tracy Mann. So it's lovely to be back. It's been a few weeks since I was on because we've had Easter and lots of other nice things going on. So we're back now with a full coronation special, although I probably spend all morning calling it Jubilee, but there we go. It is a coronation special today. So we are going to be looking at lots of decorating ideas for our big up and coming coronation party that we're going to be having on the 7th or 8th of May coming up. We've got the big coronation on the 6th and then the 7th and 8th will be these kind of party weekend. So I've got lots of ideas to show you today, including a new class that hopefully you'd like to get involved with and learn how to do something amazing that you can do for that weekend and obviously for other weekends as well. So we're live this morning, excuse me, a voice. I keep losing my voice. That's the only thing I will say this morning. So I'm live this morning on Facebook and also on YouTube as well. So if you have any difficulties with Facebook or YouTube, you can go between the two and you will be able to find me on there as well. So we're live this morning between now and 11:30. I'm going to show you some, we're going to do some demonstrating in terms of some ideas for the coronation. We've got a few bits and pieces that we need to make. We have of course got a few new bits and pieces as well, as always, so you'll be able to have a look at that as well. I did my best with my coronation. I probably should have put something blue on as well really, although the crown is in the background, but I'm going to move it around here a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. Just about catch it in the corner there, look at that. I'll move it round a bit further. There we go. Now we can see it, can't we? So we go. I've got my royal crown out as well. So there we are. So today what we're going to do is we're going to work through some bits and pieces, show you some of the things that I've got lined up for coronation. Some things I've already had before in the past that you can now use for perhaps that event. And obviously there's lots of other things like edible printouts and things that are very specifically for the coronation. And I'm still saying coronation and I haven't said Jubilee yet, so I'm doing okay, but I'm sure it's going to come at some point, and if that point doesn't come, I will probably call him Prince Charles and not King Charles. So it's going to be one of those mornings, but I will try my very best to get the terminology right. So it's like an apology in advance from me here. Okay, before we get started with everything, let's have a look at some new classes. So we go across to the Cake School, so we'll take Let's Shop down there for the moment, and the Cake School address will be coming up there on the screen now. So those of you that are already members of my Cake School, they've had a bonus class this week. So they've had an extra class, which is available to everybody else. If you want to join the class, you're very welcome to. If you are already one of my gold members, you will have had this appear in your tutorial area this week because I decided it was very relevant and good fun and everybody will want to do it, of course, and here it is. So I have done a Union Jack cake in a box, and that is my new class that came out this week. It was very unexpected. I had planned to do a coronation type cake as a tutorial, and this is the one I decided to go for in the end. I've got a nasty light shining on it. Oh, there we go, that's better, so you can see what it is. So it is a cake in a box. Okay, so if I tip it like that, you'll see that it's actually in a box. If I take the lid off, actually I'll probably stop it shining, there we go, that's better. So that's what it is, and this tutorial is going to teach you how to make a cake in a box, so how to get your cake into the box, keeping it food safe. It's going to show you how to get that lovely pattern onto the cake so that you can then go ahead and pipe it with buttercream. So it's all step by step. All the instructions are in the online tutorial. So as I said before, if you are a gold member, you've already got this class ready for you to follow. If you're not a member of the school, then I've made it available for £10. So if you want to join this class, it's just £10 to join it. You could, of course, go £12.50 and you could have sign up for gold monthly membership and get access to everything, but I'm going to leave that thought with you. It's entirely up to you. We've had lots of people sign up for it already. I haven't made it specifically coronation or jubilee or any of those things, but you will be able to add to it. So if you want to put on something more connected with the coronation, then you will be able to perhaps put some discs and bits and pieces on, and I'll give you some more ideas at the end. We'll bring the cake back on, but today what I want to do, apart from obviously show you this cake, is we are going to be looking at a treat box that you can make for coronation, so another sort of idea there. So this is actually the first of what we're going to be calling Cake in a Box, which will be some designs that we've got coming out which will go onto the Cake School and will be part of the Cupcake Bouquet section. Therefore it will be for gold members only, and you will be able to see those coming up over the next few weeks. I like this cake in a box idea. I think it's brilliant. I think you get it all done. It's in the box. You put on a lovely clear lid and off you go. I can't think of anything better, to be perfectly honest, because you can literally hand that over and you can see absolutely everything in it. So I think it's a brilliant, brilliant idea. Now we have got these treat boxes specifically for this class. So if you are thinking, oh, I'd really like to have a go at that, then we do have the treat boxes. They are in packs of 2. There are on the website, and I'm sure Nikki, who is on at the moment, will put a link up for you shortly. If not, go to Let's Shop Cake Live and you will find them on there. And what we're going to do with this, we're going to show you a treat box version of it, and then obviously we've got the cake version here as well. So you've got kind of 2 different ways of using it. But we use our treat boxes a lot. We do show you how to do lots of different treat box ideas, like we did a cake at Easter. If you remember, we did an Easter cake in a box. We've now done a Union Jack cake in a box. They are measuring 10 inches by 8 inches, so you'll need to make yourself either an oblong cake, or you'll need to do a 10-inch square cake and just chop the end off so that it goes to a 10 by 8 size. So it's an oblong size, and then you can use whatever cake you've cut off. Perhaps you can make some cake pops or something else. So there's always something you can do with a cake that's left over, unless of course you're going to eat it. In that case, then you don't stand much of a chance. So but there we are. So that is the new class that came out this week. So my very busy schedule that was actually due to set out another class next week has another class coming next week as well. So we've already had the David Austin Rose class this month, which was on the 7th of April. Then we've had this one, which was an extra, which is the Union Jack class cake in a box. And then we have got next weekend. So this one will go up on Saturday. We've got this one, which is a 2-tier floral buttercream cake. Well, it's actually half buttercream, half sugar paste. And that is going to show you how to build this cake. So we're going to show you how to prep your cake, how to cover your cakes, and then how to stack them, and then how to pipe that lovely flower arrangement on the bottom of that particular cake. So beyond the Union Jack tutorial, which is out yesterday or day before, this will be the new one that comes out on the 29th. So it's coming up very quickly, and this is going to show you the joy of this one is about sort of not only learning how to do a 2-tier cake, but also how to be able to sort of lay out the pattern really well, so you get quite a nice sort of coverage and you don't end up with all the same colours in the same places. So it's got quite an interesting construction on this one on how to do it. So this one will be available for Gold and Sugarcraft members. So if you are a member of the Sugarcraft part of the membership for my school, you will get this one arrive in your Teachable area on next Saturday. So that's Gold and Sugarcraft members. For everybody else, if you want to just go ahead and purchase a class and keep it forever, then you are able to do that as well. Nikki's very kindly put a link up there for you. If you do buy a class, let me just point this out here. So if you do buy a class, then you get to keep it. If you are on a monthly membership, then you have access to all the classes for as long as you pay your monthly membership. So if you stop paying your monthly membership, then the access to the classes will stop. Now, I've had a couple of people recently contact me asking to change their membership, so go from Sugarcraft to Gold. So that's something you'll need to do yourselves. So you would need to log into your school account in Teachable, cancel your Sugarcraft membership, and then reapply for your Gold membership and start it up again. That's how you have to do it. So if there's anyone out there thinking, oh, I've got Sugarcraft, I now want to go to Gold membership, that is how you do it. So Sugarcraft membership is currently £6.95 a month and the Gold membership is £12.50. So you have got access to a lot more information with Gold, because obviously it includes everything. And they get lots of access to all sorts of different things, lots of pre-warning about certain things, about when we have sale bags and things. So we do try and make it a good place. We've got some discounts for the group next week. So there's going to be some discounts coming up, specific ones that I've negotiated with various companies for the Gold members as well. So it's a really nice little group to be involved in. So if you do want to get involved with learning some of this, then do please feel free to sign up for the monthly membership. We've also got on the 5th of May, I'm going to cover this one here as well because I won't be back before this one comes out, and I will explain all of that later on. This one is another wedding cake that's coming out on the 5th of May. So you can see we've got a lot of course information that's come out very, very quickly. So this one is a 3-tier sparkly pearl wedding cake, and I'm going to again show you how to build this from the start to finish. So I'm going to show you how to prep your cakes and ganache them, cover them, stack the 3-tier cake, and then show you how to put all the pearls on so that it looks just as pretty as it does in that picture there. And I know someone is waiting for this class particularly because they want to do it. So there you go. It's now coming out on the 5th of May. And again, it will be available for Gold and Sugarcraft members. Or if you want to buy the class, you will be able to buy the class outright as well. And Nikki has very kindly put another link up there for you. So lots and lots of course material has come out. So we've had our Union Jack cake in a box. We have got the 2-tier floral buttercream coming out next week. And then the following week, we have this one as well. So I think value for money, we're getting some rather good courses out of this. I think I always make a promise that I'll do 1 course a month. Now it's gone to 2, and on some occasions it's been 3. So there is excellent, excellent value of what's coming out from the Cake School at the moment. And our library of courses is growing rapidly, and you'll be able to see that when you go and have a look at the sorts of things that we do. You are able to look around the school, so if you want to go and have a look at the school to see what else we do, you are able to go and have a look and see what courses. There are some courses listed that are coming up. Some of the ones that are coming up in the future aren't listed yet because they are a long, long way ahead. So I'm actually filming Christmas at the moment. So I've done 1 already. So I've got another 2 or 3 to go, and I've already got 1 going into January. So we've got a big selection of things coming up, including lots more cupcake bouquets. In fact, we've got a large, I think it's 30 for the pink one coming up in the end of May, which will be our next one. And then we're moving on to the lovely more scenery painting, which has been very popular and requested. So that's good. That's what we like to hear. So I'm very happy to do cakes that are requested. So anybody who wants to do a specific type of cake, you know, I'd like to do scenery painting, that kind of thing, I'm happy to oblige with that. So we have got scenery painting coming up in June as well. I have got a little timetable next to me because I had to write one the other day because I filmed so much that I'd completely forgotten what I'd filmed and in what order. So I did write this rather, you'll laugh because this is exactly what it looks like. So that's it. That's the organisation of it. I do love pen and a bit of paper. I'm not very good with spreadsheets, but I like pen and a bit of paper. And for me, that cannot be lost anywhere. So I have to take photographs of it every so often. And that is my school plan. That tells me what's coming up and when it's coming up. So I know what is going to be coming, and there is a lot of classes to come. So I'm hoping it's going to be a very exciting year, again, for the school building, but also to offer you lots of different classes. So back to Cake in a Box. Cake in a Box for the Union Jack is available. It's £10 to buy, or it's part of Gold membership only. So if you are a Gold member, there you go and log in and you'll find it. If you are if you want to just buy it, then you can just buy it for £10 and follow along. And it's very adaptable. You're going to be able to find there's lots of other things you're going to be able to do with this Cake in a Box idea. And I've shown you specifically how to do it, but I do expect a lot more things to be appearing. So lots more kind of themed type Cake in a Box going forward. So there we go. Right, I'm going to put the lid back on this because I don't trust myself and there's sprinkles around, which is never a good news. So I'm going to just put the lid back on this and move it out of the way. So I'm going to put that over there in a relatively safe place for now. Okay, that's fine. So coronation, of course, means party, cupcakes, all that kind of thing as well. So what I'm going to do is just run through the sheets that we've got. I will show you again later because they're going to be coming up later on. We're going to just quickly put some discs together. I'm going to give you my usual lecture on how to deal with these discs because, of course, that is very important. Let's switch back over to Let's Shop. That's where you're going to find all the discs. Don't forget the address that was up there a minute ago is specifically for the school. So if you are thinking about joining the Cake School, you need to go to that other address. If you want to buy products, then we are on this one here, which is Let's Shop Cake Live. Now I'm going to do my demo, I'm going to talk about various bits and pieces. If you do purchase something over the weekend, say now, this morning, and then you think, oh, I forgot to get that, and it's up to 10 o'clock on Monday morning, we will put the postage together. We're pretty good anyway. If we do spot orders that come in together that haven't been dispatched, we will merge the postage together as best we possibly can. Once it's left the building, obviously that's a different matter altogether, but we will try as best we possibly can to do that for you. And before I move on to the coronation stuff, our sale bags. So we had spring sale bags 2 weeks ago. They were put up onto the Let's Shop page. We have 2 left. So if anybody would like a spring sale bag, then go and grab one quickly, because all the people that did get them were thrilled with them. They are our £25 bags. They have up to the value of £40 worth of random cake decorating equipment in there. So there's all sorts of things like edibles and, well, I'm not going to tell you what's in there because each one is different, but they are good fun to have and everybody seems to love them. So we have got 2 left. So if you're very, very quick, you will be able to get yourself a sale bag. So I have left the post up there. If you do think, yes, I want one of those, and you want it quickly, go and order it, pay for your postage, and then you want to buy stuff later on, we can deal with that later on. But yes, 2 bags left. So if you do want one, then do go and get one as soon as possible. Very, very popular. Right, let's have a quick look at the discs before we then move on to the bits I'm going to make this morning. I'm just going to light my candle because I want my cocoa butter to melt. I am slightly suspicious that my candle is fairly well down on this, so I'm just going to light it anyway. I've got this new, there it is, I've got a new, what do you call it thing, candle lighter, one of these. Just got to get that going. Right, let's put that on there. Let's have a little look at the toppers. So for the cake toppers this year, we have got the crown, which is the same one that we had last time. So this one we had for Jubilee. We've also now got for coronation. So that's a standard crown. We have got this one here, which is the King's coronation. So my edible printer decided to chuck ink all over this one. I'll hold that up there. It is just a slightly different design from the other one that's around, which you'll see in just a minute. Now these are on sheets of 15. Okay, so 15 cupcakes on there. They are sugar paste. Now, when you go online, some of the ones that are on offer are wafer paper, and I hate the wafer paper ones, so I will not be offering wafer paper ones. We are only doing sugar paste ones because they look better and you can read them. I often find with the wafer paper ones, they're so thin and horrid, you can't actually see them. So this is why we are only doing the sugar paste ones. This is the one, or the... Certainly lots of you will have seen this one around. This is the official emblem, I guess. Is that what he's called it? Emblem, yes, for the coronation, which is this one here. And that is also available in a sheet of 15. And then to get you even better value for money, or if you want to do something like smaller biscuits, donuts, that kind of thing, I've also made a sheet of 30. Now this sheet of 30, they are 1.5 inches across versus the cupcakes, which are 2. So you can see the difference in size there. I'm just going to hold that up so you can see them. But if you want to make a lot of cupcakes or a lot of smaller items like brownies or what else did I say a minute ago? Donuts, that kind of thing, where you need a smaller disc, then I have given you this option this year as well. So you will find that this one is available. And they peel off like this. Now they should easily peel off with no problem at all, like that. Okay, so they're on a backing sheet. Now, the best thing to do with these, and this is where my little lecture starts, everybody, when you receive them from me, you will get them in a bag. You will get them in a plastic bag that will be sealed. Now, these are affected by moisture. So when the atmosphere changes, these sheets will change. They will take on the moisture of the area that's around. So if it's a very hot day, they can start sticking to the sheets and they can be a bit of a pain. I don't think they will in this time of year. When we did Jubilee last year, we were having more difficulties because it was warmer. Now it's not as warm at the moment, so therefore I'm expecting these sheets to behave. Now, what we need to do here is, if you're having any difficulties, and again, clear instructions are given on the back of these sheets when they go out. You'll need to take your sheet, cut it in half if it's one of the discs, put it into the freezer for literally 30 seconds to a minute. Now I give that guideline because a freezer is the same as an oven. Sometimes they are colder than other freezers, so you do have to watch it and then pull them out and you'll find the discs will come off straight away. But be careful, you need to act quickly and you need to be careful because sometimes they can get so cold they actually do chip. Now I don't think you're going to need to do this because I think we're going to be okay with the atmosphere. But number one thing is when you get your discs through, open your envelope, pull them out, have a look at them, open the bag, check they're okay, seal the bag again and leave them sealed. Do not leave those discs open to the air because the minute the air starts to get to them, they change and you will have much more difficulty with them. So keeping them in those bags is really, really important. We have also got a round disc which you will need to cut out yourself, which is printed on the sheet, and that is a larger version of the main emblem of the coronation. So there is one of these. It's on an 8-inch disc and it's suitable for an it's on a 6.5-inch disc, so it's suitable for a 7-inch plus cake, so fit the top of your cake. So if you're looking to do anything like that, then you will need to go for a whole one like that. So we have two options there. We've got your cupcake discs and also we have got the round one to go on top as well. We did have an oblong one, but the edible printer's been playing up so badly it seems to not like it particularly, so I've taken that one down for the moment while we have another little play with it and see if I can get it to work. But these are the main ones that we've got for the coronation at the moment. We have also got our own range of sprinkles, which we have got our Jubilee Kelly sprinkles. There they are. Okay, so we've done you a red, white and blue sprinkle mix as well. There they are in there. So that's available as well for you to decorate your cupcakes or whatever bits and pieces that you're making along the way. My lovely Kelly. I'm going to speak to her at lunchtime. Right, okay, let's have a look at some bits and pieces that we're going to make this morning. So we're going to make a King Charles cupcake, of course we are, and we're going to do that now. We're going to do that next, and then we are going to make a coronation bear. So we have a new cookie cutter that has come out, so we'll be making that as well, and we're going to put them all together in a lovely treat box so that you can see how that works as well. So we've got our lovely Union Jack cake in one box, and then we're going to have another box containing all of our other coronation specials. Don't forget as well, we also have a Union Jack cookie cutter which you will see appear in the treat box, and the Imperial Crown. Now the Imperial Crown, I believe that King Charles is going to be crowned with the St Edward's crown. Was it St Edward's? Something like that. Anyway, it's a different crown. It's very similar, but actually it's painted gold, and that's what we're going to do this morning. Well, it's not painted gold, it is actually gold, but ours is going to be painted. So we're going to do that on our cupcake this morning. So we're going to do that slightly differently to what we did when we did the Jubilee. So we're going to have a look at that now. And of course we're going to focus on this mould here. So some of you already will have this from last year. So when we did our Jubilee, we're now doing our, so I'm just shifting things around here. We're now doing our coronation. So there it is. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint this here. So this is an FPC. I'm going to bring this down a little bit here. We're going down. So I tightened up the stand this morning, so it's that's where we go. There we go. Okay, so this is the FPC crown and flag mould. I've already made mine. I made it yesterday. There it is. Now I've made this from Saraceno paste, which is a modelling paste. That's what you need to use for this type of mould. And this is because it's got to set a little bit, and we need the elasticity to get it out of the mould, because if you do it with sugar paste, it's a lot more tricky to do. So we're going to have a go at painting this first. So this is to make our signature cupcake. There we go. Okay. Right, I've just read that comment up there about someone's bought the Union Jack cake class. So it needs me to manually add it. So whilst I'm on a live, it will happen after the live. So if anybody buys it this morning, I will put the class on at lunchtime. If anybody buys it this afternoon, I will put the class on this evening, because I'm off to London this afternoon. So I won't be around and attached to my computer, but I will add it this afternoon. So you'll just have to wait temporarily. So that's how long it will take, okay? So if anybody is waiting for that particular class. Right, let's paint this. So what we've got here, I've already set it all up. Let's bring this across a little bit and see. Here it is. So this is my cocoa butter painting palette here. So underneath here we've got my chrome food warmer. There we go, with a tea light. And my cocoa butter's on here, it's already melted. And then I've picked a few colours here because, as I say, this crown that he's wearing is different to the imperial crown. It is I'm sure it's St Edward's. It's definitely Edward's crown anyway. It must be St Edward's, or Prince Edward, or King Edward's. Maybe King Edward's sounds better. Maybe it's King Edward's crown. Anyway, that's the one he's wearing. So that's the one we're going to replicate with this particular mould this morning. So we're going to start with we'll start with the Regal Purple, which is a Wonder Dust colour. We do like a bit of Wonder Dust on here, and it's a nice purpley colour. And I've got paintbrush number 1, and all I'm going to do is just literally dab it into position. I'm going to try really hard so you can see this, because it's quite tricky when I'm doing this backwards. So let's see if we can get this on. Now this has got a very nice luster kind of sheen about it, which is really nice. So we'll come around the corner here, just dab it into place, just be careful. You can use a smaller brush if you want to. This is paintbrush number 1. I talk about my paintbrushes in numbers because they've all got numbers on them, and that's how, when I'm painting or teaching my painting classes, I'm able to tell which is which. So in other words, when we're doing something, I'll say, and now we're going to use paintbrush number 1, and then you all know which brush it is I'm talking about, so which is quite helpful. So we'll go across here and do the other side. So I made this in white because it's easier to paint than it is for me to do it in, say, you know, little bits of gold and all this stuff. I'm not doing that. We'll just do it straightforward as we can. There we go. So some of you will already have this mould. I have got a limited number of these available, so there are some. So if you do want one, there is some on the website now, but they are limited, obviously. There we go on there. So that will do to start with. Can always go back and darken it up a little bit, but we'll leave that to dry for the moment. Okay, and then we'll take, now his crown is gold, her crown was silver, so this is a different colour this time. So we've got a bright gold in place here. I hope I've got this right. I did research this over and over and over again, so I'm sure I've got the right one. Anyway, this is what I think it is. If I'm wrong, well, never mind. We've painted a nice crown. So we're just going to go over this bit in gold. So this is bright gold Wonder Dust, Sugar and Crumbs, which we do have on the website. Like that. Just dab it into the... And then, because this actually, this mould here is the Imperial Crown. So this is the one that we've had for a long time, but we're just sort of slightly adapting it so that it's going to be like King Charles's crown. So we're going to just adapt it a little bit by just changing the colours. I don't think anyone's going to be that bothered that they're going to be on their microscopes looking at this going, that's not right. Oh, well, it's fine, it'll do. And actually it's ever so close. I have studied it and it's very close to the other one. So we're going to run with this one as is. And anyway, we get bonus marks then because we're using our equipment we had for Jubilee. We can use again. So round we go. Just paint that little bit there. They don't take long to do. I do recommend you do them in advance. If you're doing lots for cupcakes, this is an evening job. You can sit in the evening and paint these, and actually it will be a very delightful evening for you. I'll have a lovely bit of fun doing this. They are really quite nice to paint, and then when you pop them on your cupcake, it looks really quite fabulous. So yeah, for me personally, I'd be quite happy sitting here painting crowns all night. And I probably will, because we as, you know, I still sell cakes to people locally, and I probably will sit and paint lots of crowns and sell lots of King Charles cupcakes. Why not? So that's what I'll be doing. So I'll be doing the same as you. So I'm just going across the bottom there. I'm just going to catch the top of that crown, which I missed. There we go. See how nice that looks already without nothing too complicated in there. St Edward's crown. Yes, there we go. I knew it was something like that. I've done my research because I wanted to see if they were using the Imperial crown, but they're not. They're using a different one. So I'm just going to go across the bottom here, and it is gold. It's not silver. And I did check that as well. Funny enough, that only dawned on me when I came down here this morning, and I thought, I painted that gold, why did I do that? And then I thought, yeah, I know why. I know I'm not losing the plot completely, not yet anyway. So let's take that across there, and we'll just run that gold down there a little bit. And it still has the same trim that the others have. There we go, look how nice that is, ever so quick, very easy to do. Right, let's press that down. So looking at the new crown that we have at the moment, there are some differences. So I've just kind of done what best I can with it really, and just grab some white. There seems to be, oh, I know what I was going to do there. So we'll put a little bit of Snowstorm on there, which is a Wonder Dust colour, because that's a little bit sparkly. So put your Snowstorm Wonder Dust on there, and then another one there. It's all about just making it a bit blingy, isn't it, really? And then there seems to be some sort of green stone in the middle there, which we think is that one. So we'll pop that in there. Again, you can use Spring Green. This is actually Fusion Green, which is another Wonder Dust, which we had as a set of 7 during Jubilee. So some of you may have that. And then this middle one here, I think they're red. So we'll do it in red today. Nice red ruby sort of type colour stone maybe. So pop that in there like that. Make it nice and strong. They don't always have to be luster dust, but it can be quite nice if it is. It just makes it look a bit more kind of shiny. There we go. That's the kind of general idea with that. And then actually going back to the green, there seems to be some sort of green stones on these bits here, so I'm just going to put just a little spot on each one there, just kind of improvising a little bit here, and then a little one there. I mean the pictures online are not brilliant at the moment. I'm hoping they will get a better view, but you can just about see it online. And then we'll get a tiny bit of black, and then there seems to be some sort of smaller black type stones there, so we'll pop those in there. So we're using the same mould and we're just kind of adapting it really, which is what it's all about, isn't it? So now I know there's a blue stone up there, and I've forgotten to get my blue out. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to put that one as a green one, because again, I don't think anyone's going to be too bothered whether it's green or blue, but I think there should be a blue one there, but we'll make it green. Okay. So then we've got the black at the bottom here, so for his kind of trim bit here. Now if you want to paint the imperial crown, you just basically print a picture offline and just follow along. It's nice and easy to do. You just take your colours and off you go. Those of you that did my crown course, I did a big course last year on making the crown. So if you want to have a go at doing that, again, that's on the Cake School. There you go. All right, and that's it, it's done. It's ever so quick. It's not very difficult to make at all. Let me just pick that up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I pick it up though. I'm just going to add an extra bit of purple on there just to get some really good coverage on that. Grab my cocoa butter again. Make a bit more of a paint. Just thicken that up a little bit, tidy it up. And actually, if he's being crowned, someone's just said he's being crowned with one and then wearing another, that's fine, isn't it? Oh well, it doesn't matter then, we can't go wrong, can we? We're going to get it right somewhere along the line. So yeah, paint it up as the imperial crown, or have a go, maybe do some of these ones, do something a bit different. If you painted a lot of the other one last year, you might fancy doing a different one. So there we go. Right, let me hold that up so you can see it better. There we go. That's what it looks like. A bit blurry there. Let me back off a little bit so you can see it. So that one has come out of this mould here, which is the FPC crown and flag mould, okay? So that's the first little bit we're going to do towards our projects this morning. So we're just going to move that out of the way for the moment. And we're going to let that dry, so we don't want to mess that around too much. Also worth pointing out, so my camera's at a funny angle, worth pointing out as well is this mould here. Now this is the Tea and Biscuits mould, and this is a really nice mould, which we did again talk about during Jubilee last year, is that we painted this up with a Union Jack and the cup of tea as well. giving the whole afternoon tea thing that we have in this country, which is really something quite lovely, I think. If you wanted to have a go at using this on your cupcakes as well, this mould is still available as well. So if you do want to have a go at doing that, then go ahead with that one as well. So that's tea and biscuits mould. Right, I'm going to pop that there for the moment. Now I'm going to just show you the discs, and then we're going to move on to the Coronation Bear. And then we're going to come back to the Charles cupcake, which we will then put together in a treat box, which will be very nice, won't it? So there we go. I'm sure some of you are sighing a relief that you don't have to spend too much money. I told you to get value for money out of this stuff. Right, so let's go through the discs. Now, this is the best way I think that is to do the discs. I think if you try and do it any other way, you will regret it. So I think the reason to mount it on sugar paste is so that it all doesn't bleed through and become difficult. So I'm just going to put a little bit of icing sugar down there just to stop it sticking. There we go. So I'm going to just roll out a little bit of sugar paste like so. There we go, like that. Now I tend to use a 2-inch round cutter. Actually, this one looks like I've not stood on it. I've got one that's not looking so well these days. Let's have a look. So this one is a tiny bit bigger than the cutter itself. Anyone who has got this cutter that we used to sell, we still sell actually, is a 2-inch round cutter. That one fits these exactly. So what you would need to do with this, let me just, is place it onto the sugar paste, press down, and then give it a wiggle like that. So we get rid of our hairy edges and you get a clean cut. All right, so make sure you do that. Let's do that again because we're going to need 4, I think. Did I say 4? No, definitely 2. Let me think what I'm doing now. No. That'd be all right, I think. Actually, no, just 1 will be fine. The little mini one, you could actually use the back of a nozzle, something like this, which is smaller. So the little 1-inch discs, the 1.25 discs for Coronation, you can use this to cut your circle out. So you don't need a specifically much smaller cutter. You can actually do that. So that would work quite well. Right, okay, let's move that out of the way. So this is how we're going to do our discs so that they don't go wrong. So let's pick a page. Right, let me find one. Okay, so here we go. This is our King Charles one, and all we do is carefully pull this back like that. And you can see they're easily coming off. They should not be difficult to remove. If they're difficult to remove, you do need to put them in the freezer for a very, very short period of time. But I don't think you're going to need to this time of year because look how easy they come off. Very, very straightforward to do. So once they're off, remembering, of course, that if you put water on this, then you're going to find you're going to pull the print off. So it's really important that you keep the water away from the disc itself. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water, literally just enough to make that kind of damp. And I'm going to pop that on top like so, making sure I don't have any water on my fingers. And then that's ready to go. So if you wanted to get ready for Coronation now, you can do these now, ready for that day, and store them in a couple of like cardboard cake boxes with kitchen roll in between. So you can kind of stack them up. So if I was in your shoes and I was getting ready for Coronation, I would make all of these in advance. So I would get them done and then they're ready to go. So you don't have to worry about them on the week at all. And then all you've got to worry about is making your cupcakes, sticking them on and having a lovely time. That sounds like a good plan to me. Right, so we've got these 2 ready, so I'm going to put those just down in front of me there, and I'm going to show you my new bear, which I know some of you have seen already because I did do a TikTok on it. Here he is. This is my Coronation Bear. Now I haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to be able to convert him to Santa Claus when I get that far at Christmas. So I think he will, and possibly even turn him into a witch at Halloween. So I'm feeling quite confident about him. I haven't had a chance to do it yet because I've been busy with everything else, but I'm pretty certain I will be able to transform him into something other than a Coronation. He's only available in one size, which is large, and that's the size that I've got here this morning. And I have already done a video on TikTok for those of you that follow me on there. It's a super quick video, but it does show you how to put the bear together. So we're just going to run through that now because we're going to do a slower version of it now. And for anybody who doesn't have TikTok, we're going to give this a bit of a mould. Now we do use TikTok for putting on lots of sort of tutorials and things, very quick sort of 1-minute jobs. Just to remind you how to do things, because sometimes people say, oh, I can't find the video on what you did here or what you did there. So we do try to help you by making these short videos, which actually you can watch on Facebook anyway. So I've got a little bit of this colour here, which is called Autumn Leaf. Now that's the colour I specifically like for doing bears, because I just think it's a really nice colour. It's a nice biscuit colour as well. So if you want to make a biscuit out of the tea and biscuit mould, that is also a really nice colour. He could be a policeman, couldn't he? Yes, there's lots of things I think you can do with him. And to be perfectly honest, if you didn't want the hat, you could just cut his hat off. But he's got a nice cloak, and I think this will look very nice as a Santa's cloak. So I'm feeling quite confident about him, but I haven't actually had time to turn him into Father Christmas yet, because even though I talk about being in Christmas mode, I've got a bit of catching up to do yet. So we're not quite there with the cookies yet. While I'm doing this, just kneading this colour through, I'm just going to talk about some of the things that are coming up in the next few weeks. So Let's Shop Cake Live is going to stop until the beginning of June, because I'm actually going on holiday. So I'm celebrating my 30th wedding anniversary this year with my husband, and we are going off to America for a couple of weeks. And very soon after that, Kelly is coming home for a week. So we will be resuming Let's Shop at the beginning of June. And we will be coming back then with some themed Let's Shop. So today we're theming it on Coronation. And I can tell you now that our first Let's Shop back will be all about dogs. And you'll be sitting there going, really? Yeah, we're going to do it all about dogs. So there's going to be lots and lots of dog things that we've come up with. We've got some new cookie cutters coming out. And we're going lots of moulds and bits and pieces. So we will be resuming back at the beginning of June with Let's Shop, and you will be able to get involved with that. So we are taking a small break just for personal reasons, and then we'll be back soon after that. I need a medal. I've put up with him for 30 years. I need a medal, somebody. So yes, we're going off to America for a bit. So we're going to have an early holiday. And the main reason we're having an early holiday is because I'm absolutely hopeless when it comes to heat. I can't do it. I'm really bad. So yeah, because we're going to America, we're having to go in May because I can't do it in July. I have tried to do it in July, but I spent the majority of my time, as Kelly will tell you, in the gift shop because it's too hot. Right, let's take a little bit of royal icing. So you just need enough royal icing just to stick the sugar paste down. So yeah, we're going on a big holiday this year just because of this anniversary, and that is in May. So actually I fly out the day of the coronation tea party. I know, how ridiculous is that? So I'm having a coronation. Basically, when I watch the coronation, I will be having my afternoon tea then. So I'll be having my neighbours round and wearing a hat and watching television, all those things that I like to do when it's a big royal event. So I will be celebrating, but it will just be a day early. And I'll still have my bunting up, don't worry. So there'll be lots of pictures appearing. There we go. Just another thing as well while I'm rolling this out. Please remember that we have to get this stuff to you, and coronation is 2 weeks away. Now, if coronation is 2 weeks away, you've got to bear in mind that we have to use the post to get this to you. So please don't leave this until 2 or 3 days before, because it won't turn up. You know what the post office is like. It's very hit and miss, and I don't want you to miss out on any of this. So we're going to take hold of our coronation bear. We're going to press it down. We've got it on a plastic side scraper because you know what's coming. We're going to need to flip it over. We'll just take the excess off now while we can, and then flip it. There he is. We're going to cut that crown bit off in a minute anyway, so we don't want a brown one. We want a purpley one. And we're just going to press it down. Get all the features on here. There's quite a lot of features on this one, and again, if you do forget how to do this, please just go on to Facebook, Instagram, those kind of places, and you will find my TikTok video on there, and you can see all of this done in under a minute, which is, I wish was my life, because that would be good, wouldn't it, if we were all doing it at that speed. There we go. Ooh, there he is. He is lovely. There you go. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take his hat off his head, because that's going to be a different colour. So we're going to take that off, remove his hat, or his crown, or his hat. There we go. like so, and then we're going to pop him onto our biscuit like that. You can of course flood it with royal icing and all these other bits and pieces, but when we do this, we do quite like to do our sugar paste. It's quicker. I was thinking, what's the word then? It's a little bit quicker. Right, will I be doing cats too? Probably, yes. I wouldn't be surprised if it morphs into a cats and dogs special, purely because I am more cats than dogs. But I have got new cookie cutters coming out, and actually they have arrived already, and they are dogs. But potentially I probably will do cats as well, because I'm a big cat fan. I have cats myself. Do love my cats. So they've become my new children since my 2 children have left me. And they know it as well. In fact, they've become a bit clingy. I keep sending videos of them to Charlotte and Kelly just to prove that I've got new children. Right, okay. So yeah, maybe it will become cats and dogs. It probably will. But I'm telling you now, it's definitely going to be dogs because the cutters are here already. So very exciting. There's something to look forward to. I want to give you, you know, when you come back, we're going to do it and it's going to be exciting. So we'll put the crown on here. Give that a bit of a wiggle. And then turn it over. Oh, I was lucky then. Just mark it like that. Turn it back again. Press that out. That's that bit. And then we'll just cut that bit off. It does look like a bit of a sort of teapot cover really, doesn't it? So, but it will all become apparent in a minute. So don't worry about it. Right, royal icing. Let's get that going again. Where's my paintbrush? There it is. I'll put it in one of my incredibly safe places. I did have a panic yesterday because I couldn't actually find the Coronation Bear cutters, and I thought, oh my god, what have I done with them? I'm about to go live telling everyone about these Coronation cutters and I can't find them. I thought, this is drastic. This could be drastic. Right, let's move you up there. We're going to give him a nice purple cloak as well, so we'll do that next. Again, we'll just take our sugar paste and we'll roll it out in a sort of longer shape here because it's a cloak shape. And we'll cut it out according to the... Just going to put a bit of extra. I don't think I've got much icing sugar left in this. I think I need to top that up at some point. There we go. Let's pop that on there. Now, is that enough? Have I done it? Yeah, just about. I think so. Very close. Okay, we'll go with it and see. Right, let's press that down and then we'll flip it over like so. And then we'll press it down. Make sure we've got it all so we can find where the bits are we need to cut out. Nice little jacket or cloak, isn't it? It's not really a jacket. Right, there we go. So that's his, make sure I get the right bit here. So that's under his chin. So we'll take that bit out like so. Remove that, turn that round, and then we will just run the cutting wheel around that bit there, and then we'll do the same on this side. Turn it round. Might just use my scissors for this middle bit here. I was looking for my knife, but it's walked, so I just cut this centre bit out here. Just a bit easier than a cutting wheel. There we go. Take that piece out. Lovely. Good. Trim that bit up there again. Just make sure I've caught it all. That's it. Right, let's pop that on. We're dressing him. So the purple colour I've used is Colour Splash Violet, which is the colour that is on the website, Colour Splash Violet. I like Colour Splash, they're really nice colours actually, I'm always talking about them. I don't think they're a particularly premium brand or anything particularly high end, I just like the colours that they come out with, and particularly leaf green. Leaf green is a really nice colour. There we go, now he definitely looks like more of a policeman than he does like a Coronation Bear, but that's okay. He's going to have a transformation in a minute. So we're going to just start just doing a little bit of painting because we need things to dry as we go along. So I'm just going to bring my paints back in again. All right. So once you start your process with your painting, your crowns and all the other bits and pieces, you can leave your cocoa butter in your tray and go back to it when you're ready. So I'm just cleaning my brush up here. So I've got quite a lot of purple in it. Okay, we're going to turn that round to the white, We're just going to mix up a little bit more white. I'm using paintbrush number 1 at the moment, like so, and I'm just going to paint. Wait 2 seconds. Hold on. Where's my thing gone? There it is. So I was thinking I'd forgotten the royal icing then, but I haven't. I've got it, so that's okay. So we're just going to paint the outside edge of his jacket. We could muck about and we could cut this out in white, but why do we need to do that when we can literally paint it? Because the coverage is really good. So we'll just go straight over that. So paint that bit first before we put the foot on, because otherwise it's very difficult to paint. So we'll just go around that bit first, like so. Am I still on the screen? Okay, just about. Where are we? Oh yeah, that way. So the idea behind, I'm just reading someone's comment about the cookie cutters. The idea behind the cookie cutters is exactly what you said. I found that the cookie cutters were so standard and not what I wanted at all. And I really wanted to invent things that were relevant and fun and different than just having kind of very standard metal cookie cutters. And I think we've achieved that with this. And also what we're doing now is we are turning them over. So we're getting, once the designs are done, we're moving on and we're picking out new designs. So the new ones that are coming out, I'm quite pleased with those. So hopefully you will as well. And also I love the idea of making mini cookies on cupcakes. We do actually have a charity nearby called the Hearing Dogs. And I will be taking some of the cookies down there. Not for the dogs, for the customers, so you know, the members of staff down there, and seeing how they get on with them as well, just to get some feedback from them. So if we can get approval down there, then we'll be doing okay. But I don't know as much about dogs as I do about cats. When it comes to cats, I am an expert. Right, okay. Let's go for the eyes up here. So we're going to just fill that in. So we do this now, give it a chance to dry before we then put the next layer of paint on. Let's turn it round that way. There we go. There you go, Your Majesty. We're getting there. Right, now I am missing another colour, so let me just locate this now. Have a little rummage. Okay, that's good. I found both in one go, so that's a bonus. Let's put the petal blue in there. We're going to need that shortly. And a little bit brown, only a tiny bit. There we go, that's all I need. Right, so they're Sugar Flare colours, by the way, for what I'm using at the moment. So these are in my Cocoa Butter Beginners Kit. So if anybody wants to have a go at doing some cake painting, we have a kit that's available that's really good for getting you started, and it's excellent value. It includes 4 paintbrushes, 11 dusting colours, a metal paint palette and some cocoa butter, and you will be good to go. You don't need to buy it again. The only thing you'll ever need to buy is a little bit more cocoa butter, probably once a year, and that's not that expensive, and some dusting colours, mainly black and white are the two you'll probably go through the most, although if you're involved in scenery painting at the moment, you'll probably be going through plenty of green as well. I've got scenery painting classes going on, and yes, quite a lot of green. So I'm just putting down here a little bit of brown, just painting his nose really. There we go. Still looking a bit funny at the moment, but that will change in a minute. And then we'll just paint his mouth on, make it a little bit darker. And then we'll just put a line down there and we'll give him a bit of a smile. Because he's very happy, he's been crowned now, he's waited long enough. He's been waiting a long time. There we go. All right, that's it. Let's go like that. Okay, right, let's see what we're going to do next. Let's do the actual crown. So let me show you this bit quite carefully. So obviously it's not the exact crown, it is the impression of a crown. So this is the order to do this in. There is a specific order to this, and again, if you forget it, go back and watch the TikTok video. So the first thing you need to do is you need to just do a circle on the top there, like so. Then you need to come down from there and do another circle in the middle of the crown. All right, so it's a slightly smaller one this time. Okay, and then to this side, you need to do another circle there, and then the same on the other side. So you've got 3 circles. So circle, 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 circle. Okay, so far so good. Then what we're going to do is take this and we're going to bring this down like a triangle. Okay, so I've got very thick paint. I wonder if the... you see, I knew there was something wrong. The thingy's gone out, the candle's gone out. And how do I know that? Because the paint is getting really thick and difficult to use. So there you go. The heat has been taken away. The cocoa butter has started to set. And I knew it was wrong. So there you go. So we'll just relight that now. Get this re-going again. I was thinking I'm plastering on this gold and it's taking forever. So let's do that. Put a new candle in there, pop that on top, and that will remelt again. That will be better. My suspicions were right. Thinking it was getting very thick here. Hopefully that will go quite quickly. So just wait for the heat to go back into the paint palette. If you aren't using a paint palette or a chrome food warmer, you can always use some boiling water, which you can just put underneath it, and that works quite well. Okay. Right, let's grab that. That's better. Now things are moving again. There we go. Okay, so back to this. So we're going to do a triangle down from this one here, like that. Okay. And then this is where it gets marginally complicated. You're going to take your paintbrush from here and you're going to come around on a curve to that point there and do the same on this side. So come around to that point there. It's not that difficult. And then from the other ones, you're going to make another triangle. You'll just join up at the bottom there. So these are slightly on the side. So you'll do another triangle there and just join it up. Okay, that's it. That's all we have to do. It's nice and easy. So it's the impression of, and then we're going to do, because obviously it's not, let me get my piping bag. So I've got piping bag here. I've got nozzle number 2, and I'm just going to pipe some dots along here to represent that sort of fur bit that's at the bottom of his crown. That will do 2 rows. So we've definitely got it represented here. Okay. There we go. Now he's looking a bit more like a clown. And then we will just take that a little bit out at the end there because I went a bit too far. There we go. All right, so he's got his crown on his head now. We have progress. Right, okay. Next thing we're going to do is just take hold of some black paint and we're going to just do this little sort of cloak bit with his bear skin, I guess, whatever it is that they wear, is it? I can't remember. I have Blackadder in my mind saying it's real cat, which I find very, very difficult to get out of my mind. If anybody's watched Blackadder the Third, they'll know what I'm talking about. So we will come down here and just go around the corner. So this is just blobs. I mean, it's not complicated, is it? Blobs of colour. Just don't overthink it. Just have a go. Have a paint. See what happens. I will run this video on my Instagram stories for the next few weeks so that you can see it. So if you need to find it quickly and you want to find it on Instagram, if you go to at Tracy Mann Cakes, I will run various stories on there. You'll see me lost up a mountain on Instagram at the moment. Just it's a bit of an evening last night trying to find the set of Wicked, which we're going back to follow again tomorrow actually, but we will find it. Me and my next door neighbour. Anyway, that's another story. Right, Petal Blue, let's give that a bit of a mix. So this is going to be for his eyes. So just mix up the paint with your paintbrush And then you'll need one of these like ball tool things, like that. Okay, we'll take this end, the larger end, and we'll just dip that into the paint, and then we'll press down. And we'll do the same again, press down. It gives us an exact circle, and because the sugar paste is quite soft, if I want to make those eyes any bigger, I just press down harder, so that solves that problem. We're going to have to wait a moment for that to dry, because then what we'll do, oh actually no, we're going straight to black, aren't we? So we can do black straight away. Turn it round the other way, and we'll just grab some black paint. It's only when you go black to white that it becomes a bit more tricky. Actually got to make sure this paint is relatively thick. No, it's not, so let's thicken that up a bit. We've lost a bit of... If you find your paint's getting very watery, just remix it. That's fine now. That's better. There we go. All right, so we can put that, let's go for it on there. And then we will have to wait to put the white on. So what we'll do is we'll move him to one side and we'll come back to him later on. But there he is. That is the Coronation Bear. I've got to put his feet on. I do have the bear here. Yes, I have got him here. And also I've got more stock on the way, because I spoke to my lovely man who makes all my cutters for me, and he is going to be sending me some more this week. So if you do order the Coronation Bear or anything connected with the coronation, it will go out straight away. I don't think we're out of stock of anything at the moment. I think we're all pretty okay, unless of course this goes completely mad. In that case, I may live to regret that sentence. Let's put a little blob of royal icing on there. And then I'm just going to take some of the... I'm going to have to go and wash my hands in a minute, because I'm now putting purple on everything. Take some of the brown. You roll it in your fingers like this. You can feel if they're the same. I always find that's the easiest way to do this. And then press it down. And it's containing quite a lot of purple now. Right, let me go and wash my hands quickly, because otherwise everything's going to be purple. I don't think he wants specks of purple in his feet. That might be a bit of a problem for him. I might think he's got problems. Right, that's better. Right. So yes, we do have the Coronation Bear in stock, purely because we have basically only got the next 10 days to get the coronation stuff out to you, because I don't want anyone ringing me up and, you know, trying to order on the Thursday before coronation, because I think it'll be too late. So you need to do it today, or certainly within the next few days. So I'm just going to put his feet, just make his feet a bit more 3D really. I just quite like the idea of that. That on there like so. Just press them down. It's just two round balls there. It's not difficult. And then if I switch over to, what's this, Paintbrush Zero, okay, and then we'll grab a bit of black, but we'll actually mix some white into it so it's grey, so it's not too harsh. And we'll just go around the edge of his eye. We won't give him sort of great big eyelashes, I don't think. We'll just outline here just a little bit. There we go. And we'll do the same on the other side. I'm not going to outline the whole thing. I'm just going to start the top and come down, and then just across the bottom, because otherwise he's going to probably look like he's wearing goggles. That's probably not a good idea. So I'll put it to that point. Now I think it looks like the black has dried, so I'm looking for one of these, which is my lovely dotting tools, with the little tiny metal balls on the end of them, which are completely brilliant for doing spots. So again, same principle as before. I'm just going to take my dotting tool, put it in the white, and just put a little tiny speck in his eye. Okay, how easy is that? I mean, you get an exact round dot. It's brilliant, love it. I'm going to put a little dot on his nose as well, just for a highlight. And there he is. So that's our Coronation Bear. So that's our brand new cookie cutter that's out today. As I say, we do have them in stock, so there are no delays on that at the moment. So if you do want to order him, he is on the website. And I know Nikki's been busy putting up the link there. So if you want to be able to find it quickly, you'll find the link in the comments. If not, if you go to Let's Shop Cake Live page, you'll find all the coronation stuff there together anyway. Right, so we're going to move on to the next thing we're going to make, which is a King Charles cupcake, and then we're going to put it all together in our treat box and have a look at our coronation collection so that you can see everything together. So I'm going to start with a cupcake. We're going to move him out of the way now and let him dry, and we're going to start with a cupcake here. There it is. So this is actually just a cupcake from Sweet Success. I've been lazy this week and I have cheated and bought them. Well, I actually got a project on the go, so I decided I need some anyway. So that's what we're going to use. So I'm coming back on screen for a second, purely because I'm just going to put my buttercream into the microwave, because let's put it on there. It might actually help if I switch it on. This time of year, it's so cold. It shouldn't be cold this time of year. Buttercream gets really difficult to pipe. So if I give it a quick 10-second blast in the microwave or less, then hopefully I'll be able to actually do something with it. Yeah, that looks a bit better. It shouldn't be this cold this time of year, but it still is. What can you say? There's nothing you can say about that, is there really? Right, let's go back down to the cupcake. There we go. Right, so we're going to make King Charles. We're going to turn you into a cupcake. So this is what you're going to do. So we're going to take hold of some buttercream. We're going to pop that around the outside edge. It's a little bit domed. You can see that it's not completely flat, which is fine. There you go. This is just to stick it down more than anything else. I've got to actually just check. I remember what I did with his colours. I did colour up some stuff before I started. There we go. Right, let's get that sorted. There it is. Lovely. Okay, there's our cupcake all ready to go. So we've just done that so we can stick everything down. Let me bring in my paste colour. So I've made this sort of skin tone colour up for him, which I did earlier, which is a bit of pink and a bit of brown together. More pink than brown, but obviously not too pink because we don't want him to look too pink, although I am going to dust his cheeks actually because he is quite red. Again, I had another little study. He's quite red, and actually it really suited the cupcake. I was quite pleased with it actually when I'd done it. And then there were certain things I remembered as a child about him, because obviously I grew up with Prince Charles as Prince, and I remembered certain things when I put it together, so I'm sure you'll have a good laugh about this in a minute. So let's roll this out. I'm not going to make this too thin. I do want it to have a, you know, I don't want it to be able to see the cupcake through it. So we're going to make it fairly. That's probably okay. I've got this cutter here, is actually quite big. It sort of fits over the entire cupcake. If I move that back onto screen, so I've sort of got wandering off a little bit there. There we go. You can see that then goes over the top there. So, I've got to tape measure. That never happens. Right, let me tell you how big this circle is. So these are standard cupcakes, 53ml, and this is I'm going to do this in inches because it's probably easier for me. It is a 2 3/4 inch round cutter. Okay, I'll pop that over the top there, give it a wiggle. There we go. Take that out, and then we're going to pop that straight over the top of our cupcake there. So we're just go round it with the base of our hand. Don't do it with your fingers. So you do it with your fingers, you end up with finger marks all over it. So do it with the back end of your hands like that. Okay, see? Now we're going to make it a little bit more pointy at the bottom. So let's find out where we're going to set him up. Let's go that way. I'm just going to just manipulate the cupcake a little bit. Just make it a tiny bit more, so it's not quite round. A little bit more like that. Okay, there we go. That's the kind of shape that we're using. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to, where are we? We're going to give him a nose and a smile and all the other bits and pieces. Let's find what we need for the smile. Let me just see where my nearest smiley tool is. Let me have a little look over there. Hopefully I didn't take it home. Let's have a little look. And that's not jumping out at me. Of course it isn't, because I need it. Oh, where are you? Well, I haven't got my Dresden tool. That's, oh, is that it? No, that's not it. Thought I'd found it then, hit the jackpot. Right, let me look over this side, see what I've got over here. I did actually manage to chuck my tools all over the place the other day, and it's not been the same since because I can never find anything I want. Oh, there it is. No, it isn't. That's not that one. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Perfect. Found it. Magic. Right. Okay. So we are going to use our Kelly Sprinkles 4mm eyes that we've been using. There we go. That we use for lots of other projects that on our cookie cutters. So we're going to use those as well. And we're going to start by putting his nose on. So we're going to, actually no, we'll start with his eyes. Let's start with his eyes. So when you look at the cutter, when you look at it like that, you want his eyes to be coming in roughly about there, at that point there, all right? You don't want to put them up there and his nose and his smile down there, which is where a lot of people fall into traps with faces. And we're going to put his, oops, drop that one, put his eyes relatively close together. I'm just marking them on at the moment. So I'm going to put one there and one there, like that. And we're going to take hold of a little bit of royal icing just to kind of stick these into place. Just a little tiny blob, just so they don't fall out. And we'll put one in like that. And then one in like that. Actually, that one's not the same size as that one. That's going to annoy me. That's that one. Or is it that one that's too big? One of them is the wrong way round. Let's try that one. Perfect. There we go. All right, so far so good. Then what we're going to do, I'm going to make his nose. We did a similar one to this for the Queen. We're going to give the King a little bit of a bigger nose than the Queen. So, but we don't obviously want it to be absolutely huge because it will stand out a mile and not look very good. So we're going to roll it and just kind of make it into a bit of a triangle maybe. That'll do. And then we'll take some, actually we'll stick this on with a bit of water rather than royal icing, just a tiny bit of water on there. And we'll pop his nose on like that. It's probably easier to put it on and then manipulate it rather than sort of trying to, there we go, like that. And then we'll grab our Dresden tool and we'll put a couple of nostrils in there as well. Just watch when you do that, it doesn't spread any further. We don't want it to get to be the world's biggest nose or anything, so we'll pop that on like that. And then we're going to give him a smile because he's very happy that he's king now, so we're going to pop that in there like that. There you go. All right, now, as a child, I always remember he had very big ears, so that's what he's getting. He's going to get some big ears this time. So, amazing the things you remember, isn't it? So I'm going to grab hold of a tool here. Now his ears should come in roughly the same line as his nose. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of water just to hold them in place there and there. A little bit, tiny. And we're going to pop his ear on like that. So what we're going to do is squash it down first before we do that. Pop it on. And then we're going to use this tool here. Let me find the side I want. And we're just going to manipulate it a little bit. I don't think I'm giving him great big jumbo ears. I'm looking at the one I did earlier and it's not huge ears, but it's bigger ears than the Queen maybe. Okay, so we're just, and you can always blend the ears in a little bit as well if you want to with your tool, if you want to fiddle around with it. But we'll get that outside edge there. There, how about that? Right, let's do the other ear. I'm reading the comments about Spitting Image. I'm actually going to see Spitting Image, the musical. So I will report back on whether King Charles is there with his big ears. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think he did have quite big ears on Spitting Image. Someone else has put a comment up about the Union Jack cake. The Union Jack cake is held on Teachable, so you do not need a Facebook account to be able to watch it. It is on Teachable, which is a separate website, which we will give you a login for you to be able to go and log in and follow your class along, okay? So that's what you're going to do with that. Okay, I think we've got his ears on now. There we go, looking lovely. Okay, right, next thing we're going to do his hair. Now what I did with his hair is I took some white sugar paste and I mixed in some black, and I didn't mix it in very well. So you get like a sort of streaky effect. So it's not pure grey, It's sort of streaks of grey, which is what we want really. Now, I looked at his hair, of course I did, and yeah, he hasn't got huge amounts of hair, but he does have hair, so we're going to put hair across it. And the reason I put hair up the top here, although I didn't put very much, was to support his crown, so that will make a bit more sense in a minute. So I just took hold of some pieces of this sort of swirly grey that I've got, and I just kind of lay that down on there like that to start with. And a little bit around the back here, around the back of his ear. I'll stick a bit on like that there, so it's not very pretty at the moment. And then we'll take hold of our, whoops, got caught up there, Dresden tool, and we'll just blend these two together and flatten that down. Just put in some hair there. This will come together, I promise. I've done it once, so I know it works. So I spent a whole afternoon trying to work him out, but anyway, I've done it. There we go. So that's the start of that. I know. He does look, he goes through various stages, but he does get to royalty stage, don't worry. He's coming, it's on its way. Okay, put another bit in there, and then another bit in there. One point looks like my granddad, and then, oh dear. Well, I suppose, you know, he's not young, is he? Bless him. Although he's waited a long time, so we're going to, you know, embrace this. There we go. A little bit more hair down there, and then I took his hair up this side here because it's sort of a bit. He has it sort of brushed back, doesn't he? But obviously on Coronation Day, he is going to be wearing a crown, so we're not going to see a lot of his hair. So that's good news for us. So we're just going to kind of use it as a sort of support system for his crown. We'll put some more hair up here because he's not completely without hair, is he? Unlike William, who doesn't really have any hair at all, does he now? He'll be an easier cupcake to do, won't he? Wait for William to come and then we won't have to worry. Right, so then what I did, and this isn't his actual hair, so let's think now artistic interpretation and a crown is going on here. So we are just filling in some gaps here because he does have hair, and we're just going to go across the top here and just put on, because his hair actually, say, flicks back, it's not like this, but that's fine. Let's go across. So I'm just putting little bits of hair or bits of sugar paste on there. There we go. And then what we'll do, we will make it look like hair because somebody's bound to see it, aren't they? Someone's going to take his crown off his head at some point. Okay, lovely. There he is. So far, so good. Right, now we're going to give him some eyebrows. So we're going to take some of this grey and we're going to give him some, we're going to pop a little bit of water there and there. His eyebrows are actually quite close to his eyes. That sounds a ridiculous sentence, but I know what I mean. So they're quite low down. So now be careful with eyebrows because you can have a really drastic effect with eyebrows, making him actually look really quite cross or annoyed if you point them in certain directions. So be really, really careful what you're doing here. Oh, that one's a bit too thick, so he's definitely looking a bit super mad on that one. So there we go. All right, that's better. And then again, we'll just take our Dresden tool and we can fluff them up a bit. Okay, now he has also, we're going to do a little tiny white speck in his eye so that he doesn't look like he's staring into space. I'm just taking my cocoa butter here and I'm just going to put a little tiny blob of white there. See the difference that makes? A huge difference. It always does. I don't know why, but it does. I think it's just a light, isn't it, shining on his face. I'm just looking for a, what colour's that? I'll do. Right, now we're going to put we're going to give him some blusher now. Now I should laugh really because he's quite red, but I don't want him to look too sort of red. But you know, he's quite red. So I'm going to grab some of this colour, which is called Blush Pink. I'm just going to put it on a brush. I've actually just got, this is my flat 2 brush. And I'm just going to make sure the excess is off, but we're going to give him a bit of colour, because that's what he's like, in my eyes anyway. I think so. I'm sure some of you will agree or disagree with me, but that's how I see him anyway. Large ears, very red, with a crown on his head. Right, okay, now we're going to put his crown on. So this is our moment. Now, we've got our crown from what we made earlier, but the problem with this is if we put it on, it's going to tip backwards. So we need to take some of the grey, and we're going to build it up behind the crown so that it sits properly on the cupcake. So we're going to put that on there like so, and we're just going to make sure it's flattened down like that so it's actually level. Then you're going to need to put some icing on there because you won't want it to fall off. Put some, and we'll stick some icing on the back of this as well. There we go, like so. And then we will carry out our own coronation. There we go. And then we will have our King Charles cupcake ready for coronation day. How about that? He's not too bad, is he? Quite pleased with him myself. Anyway, there he is. So that's how you're going to do a King Charles cupcake. And I'm now going to show you how I'm going to put all this together in a really nice treat box. I'm going to leave him on screen for a second so you can see what he looks like. I'll probably try and do a TikTok of him this week, putting him together really quickly so that you can see it again. So you can sort of tune in for that. I've got a busy week next week. I've got wedding, including one that's covered in ruffles, which is an instant 3-hour time lost just by doing that. So just moving things around. I think he looks like King Charles. I am happy that he looks like King Charles. You know, when you look at something and go, what do you think? Well, I think he does. There we go. So let me move things around a little bit. And we're going to bring our cupcakes in. So where's our cupcake? There it is. We've got another one to do. So we'll put that one in side by side. Camilla is wearing a crown as well, but I've only done him today purely for time factor, nothing else other than time factor. So if you want to make a Camilla themed one, again, just go and have a look at her crown, see what colours it is, and just repeat the process and just give her similar kind of hair to the Queen, really, to be honest with you. And I did a Queen cupcake last year, so kind of similar to that. Let me find the nozzle that I need for this, which I have got organised in a bag somewhere. Yep, there we go. Skin is pink and brown, okay, so colour splash pink with a tiny bit of brown. So more pink than brown, but obviously not to the point where he is very, very pink. Okay, so we're going to take hold of this. I'm going to move you out the way, sir, for a moment. And then we're going to take hold of one of our nozzles here. We're going to go all the way around the outside edge. Like so. And then we can take hold of some of our Kelly sprinkles if we want to. I'm just going to take my little topper and I'm going to put that on there now. So it's stuck down. And then if I want to add some of my red, white and blue sprinkles, I can do that on there. They show up quite nicely on there. You could also change the buttercream colour if you want to make it blue, or so they stand out a bit more. You can do that. Or sprinkles, they always go everywhere, don't they? There, right, okay, so that's those two there. Right, let's get our treat box together. Let me move some of these things out of the way for a second so we've got some space. Right, okay, so this is the same box that we had before. So when we looked at the Union Jack cake, this is the same box, but this time it's got the cupcake holders in. So when you get your treat box, it will come with the cupcake holders. I'm just going to lift that up a bit so you can see it a bit better. Make sure it stays in one place. There we go. And then, so for example, if you then wanted to do a coronation themed one, this is our Union Jack cutter, which is this one here. Okay, so that's now available as well. So there's that one that you can add in there. I did just grab a slice of cake because we can't have a party without a piece of cake, can we? So that's a piece of cake that we've got in there as well. So I'm just going to bring this up higher. There we go. Sorry about that. We just have a little ride on the merry-go-round there while we just sort that out. Move that out of the way. And then we're going to put our coronation bear in there. Put you in there. Okay. And then we're going to put Charles, King Charles in there. Right, you sit there. And where's my other one gone? In there. Okay, there we go. And we'll pop that one in there like so. And there you go. You've got a really nice coronation themed cookie box. So if you are doing a cookie box, you could. If you want to do a cake, you could. If you want to do the imperial crown, which is the other cookie, which is this one here, there is a YouTube video on my YouTube channel which shows you how to do that. So if you want to have a go at doing the imperial crown, then go across to YouTube and have a look for the video there. I didn't run through that today purely because we were going to do the cupcake and bits and pieces instead as well. So you can change this. If you wanted to do this red, you could do red shredded paper as well. We do have shredded paper on the website, which if you want to change that over, you could. But it's a bit of fun. You could change the cake over to something else if you fancied doing the crown or other bits and pieces. There's all sorts of things you can always do. They always put a little bit of cake in there, a little bit of extra cake, but that is what the treat box is going to look like, and I will take photographs of that for you to see as well. So the treat boxes come in packs of 2, so you can do that, or you can do the Union Jack, which is what we did at the start, which is this one here. So I didn't show this at the start. I'm just going to say to anyone who's tuned in now and thinks I did this as a class this morning, I haven't done this as a class. This is available on my Teachable account. So for those of you that want to sign up for the class, it's part of Gold monthly membership, or it is part, or you can buy the class for £10. Now, anyone who signed up between now and lunchtime, you'll get the class today at lunchtime. Anyone who signs up between 12 and 6 o'clock today will get the class tonight, because I am out in London. I can't enrol you while I'm out. So just so you bear that in mind, because I actually have to manually do it. So that is the Union Jack class, made from the same treat box that we've used to make our coronation box this morning. And again, I did sort of do some colours in terms of I've done my Union Jack cookie cutter here, which I did a couple of weeks ago, in sort of a pastel-y Cath Kidston type look. If you want to do it in something a bit stronger, you know, the red, white and blue, you can do that as well. You're not sort of stuck with that. And you can change things around accordingly. And obviously these are the discs, which are, there are 5 different lots. There's one for a large cake, one for, let's put that there, one for a large cake, one for lots for the discs, and then there's the mini discs as well, which are these ones here, which is a set of 30. They're all the same price, but you get double on this one, but you can see they're a lot smaller. They're 1.25 versus these, which are 2 inches. So these are good for brownies, donuts, that kind of thing. These are good for the cupcakes, so up to you. Then we've got the crown, and then we've also got a different coronation design as well, so lots of different options there, plus the round one for the cake as well. I'm just going to leave that there for a moment so you can see it. Let's take that down. So King Charles has his moment on Let's Shop Cake Live, isn't he lucky? how honoured he should be. And I'll actually switch that round for a second so the teddy can have his moment as well. There we go, put you on screen as well. So there you go. So those are the new bits and pieces that we have got today. Right. Quick summary, because I'm off to London, so I've got to go and quickly eat some lunch and leave in a second. So this is going to be our last Let's Shop until the beginning of June. So I will be coming back on here at the beginning of June and starting again. And we will be doing an animal theme, a cats and dogs, which is morphed into cats as well, on our first session back, which will be at the beginning of June, whilst I just take a break for a significant holiday, is how I'll describe that. So the Union Jack class is out today. So if you do want to get that, it's £10 to buy it and keep it forever, or you can join as a gold member, which is £12.50 a month, and you then get access to all of my classes. Now that is done through the Cake School, not done through Let's Shop Cake Live. So if you do want to go and have a look, then you will need to change over, let's make that right, to the Cake School and have a look on there. We also have a crown cake on there as well. So if you do fancy getting really advanced and having a good go at something, the crown cake is there for you to have a go at as well. And you could paint it up differently to represent St Edward's crown instead of the imperial crown if you wanted to go that route. The 29th of April, we have got a 2-tier floral cake coming out as on the Cake School, which is this one, followed by the 5th of May, which is this one here. So despite us still not being on Let's Shop, we will still be having a lot of classes coming out. So nothing is going to grind to a halt. There are still lots and lots of things coming out. So you'll be able to see all of those appearing. Okay, so let's go back to Let's Shop. Where are we? Pressing all the buttons. Not that one. We have 2 spring sale bags left. So if anybody wants a spring sale bag, they are not to be missed. You will love them. They are £25 up to the value of £40 of cake decorating-esque equipment. So you'll find there'll be bits and pieces. I'm not going to be too specific because they're all so different, but we've had all sorts of things in there like cookie cutters, transfer sheets. We've had other things, edible sugar paste, all sorts of bits and pieces, moulds. Everyone is different, but if you do want one, there's 2 left. So they've nearly sold out, and this is the first time we've mentioned them on Let's Shop, so this is the first opportunity that you will have had to get them. The gold members have already managed to get their bags, so if you are a gold member, you do get priority on certain things. The other thing you will get priority on is some of the discount codes that I've got next week lined up for them whilst I'm on holiday. So the coronation discs we've gone through already. The Coronation Bear is new, and then obviously we've got the Union Jack and the Imperial Crown Cutter as well. So if you do want to get any of those items, then do please go to the website letsshopcakelive.co.uk. So that's it for me today. I hope that you've enjoyed the morning with me. I hope that it's been very nice to return again and go through bits and pieces. So I hope that you have enjoyed everything that we've shown you today. I'm looking forward to seeing lots of King Charles cupcakes. There's no reason why we can't have any King Charles cupcakes. I'll just pick up on one point that somebody's just asked me about when the dog cookie cutters will be available. One set's here already. The second set we're just waiting for to come through now for me to approve. Once that arrives, they will probably go on when I come back off holiday, because we're not going to be able to do any mail order while I'm away, so everything is going to be suspended completely. So there will be no mail order between the 7th and the 18th of May. So please bear in mind that as well. So if you are ordering anything from me between the 7th and the 18th of May, mail order will be suspended while I'm away. So if you do want to get anything, then do please make sure you do it before then, because nothing is going to go out during that time. Other than that, thank you very much for joining me. I hope that I've given you lots of inspiration for coronation. I'm going to take a few pictures now quickly, and then I'm going to head off to London, where I believe the London Marathon is running tomorrow, so I'm expecting chaos, but I won't be running in it, and nor will my daughter, because she did the half marathon the other week. But no, we will not be running in that today. But thank you very much, everyone. There is the live there. Thank you, Nikki. She's been great, very, very helpful putting up all these links for me. I do appreciate it. So Nikki is extremely helpful to me, and I hope that you will all benefit from watching Let's Shop Cake Live. So I'll see you again at the beginning of June. Just remember as well, when we put the event up, you'll see a little event notice come up. If you click going or interested, you'll get a reminder, because loads of people always say, oh, I didn't realise. If you do actually click going or interested, Facebook will remind you that we're live. And of course, if you aren't on Facebook and you're watching us on YouTube, you can watch us after the event as well. So if you do miss out, you can always go back and watch it. So thank you very much, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you again at the beginning of June. In the meantime, don't forget, coronation is 2 weeks away. Get your orders in so we don't have to moan about the postman, and we'll see you all again.